Before we use any power tools, let's take a moment to talk about shop safety. Be sure to read, understand, and follow all the safety rules that come with your power tools. Knowing how to use your power tools properly will greatly reduce the risk of personal injury. And remember this: there is no more important safety rule than to wear these safety glasses.
Hello. Well, it's Easter time when I'm making this, not necessarily when you're watching it. And turners all over the place. I'm making eggs, chicks, and other Easter type stuff. So I thought I'd show you my Easter egg. It's actually going to be a box. Mostly because I do love these hinges. I got this one from Procraft. Over there. They're rather ornate, and I don't know, they're for ring box type things, but I like them, so I'm going to use it here. That's Procraft. If you're in the UK, is a great supply company. They modify things to the metric so it works with our English tools. And basically, I got myself a blank oak in this case because that's what I had knocking around. I've roughly turned it to the outside diameter of that hinge. And I put a tenon on each end. I got myself a template for the inside that will fit into the hinge. So if I cut that, then the hinge should fit nicely. Now, unlike ordinary boxes, this one isn't so easy to put onto a jam chuck. Normally you use one half of the box as a jam chuck for the other. Can't do that on this one. I have to make a jam chuck especially for it. But we'll come to that. Let's get this into the chuck and go from there. Okay, what I'm going to use to part this into pieces is the Robert Sorby fluted parting tool. I'm using it because it's got a very narrow profile. And this tool is handy. I could use a standard narrow parting tool, but because of the depth of this cut, this one just works better. I'm making a double cut, fraction wider than the actual cut, which keeps the heat down and allows me to run all the way through. As you can see, it's quite a clean cut, but by keeping it narrow, then the grain pattern is closer to matching. And the shape of this hinge, I've got a slight recess here, which is about 2.5mm deep, and then there's a band around here, and then a bit of decoration on the extreme edge. I want my egg to come out pretty much to the extreme edge, so I'm going to have to put a small step on the end here. it's just a question of try or fit it. So I'm pretty close when I started. But I'm cutting about half the depth I'm going to need. And there we go, that's how it needs to fit. So that fits on there. I've got a nice close fit here. The next step, well, trust your pencil and mark the inside of that. And just check out where you're going, check the depth and the overall size. Sorry, I need more light. You're working this as if you were the chick inside the egg, and that's the view. I'm going to finish the inside of that one. Because this is a video, normally I would just turn the other one and shove that one back in because it'll work. But why not finish it? I have a pause button on this video, so I'm not going to make you watch all the sanding. But we'll start with 120 grit. I'm going to use my trusty stick with a slot cut in the end. Simply put that in there. I can work inside there without my fingers getting in the way or getting ripped off. As I said, I'm not going to make you watch it. Okay, I've sanded to 240. Now I'm going to use some Yorkshire grit. And you can watch this bit. I might shorten it. This basically starts at a grade above 240, and as it breaks down, it reaches about 1,000 grit. You work it in. And with oak, it's a bit of a problem because it's such an open porous grain that it holds the dust in itself. The hope is that with this, an oil of wax and abrasive mix, it will pull that dust out in a slurry and won't get it stuck into the wood. Yes, I'm actually putting my finger inside, but it's not far in, and speed is down at the moment. Speed for working this initially is around about 300, 500-ish. Depending what you're working really. You want to give it a couple of minutes. So I'll save you that and I'll put you back on pause. As you can see, I've got quite a shiny surface in there from the Yorkshire grit, but it's not finished yet, and I'm going to finish it off with Hampshire Sheen high gloss wax. But before I do that, I might use some gold embellishing paste wax, because oak is quite an open grain. And this does quite a good job. But in order to achieve that, I'm going to make damn sure I've got all the Yorkshire grit out of there by using a bit of metalic spirits just to clean it out. And you can see the benefit of the light there, can't you? Right, I'm going to put you back on pause while I do the waxing. Okay, pretty much sanded and waxed, ready to reverse. The more astute amongst you will have said, oh no, that's a glue surface he's covered up with wax and sealer and stuff. You're right. So I'm going to touch this edge with a bit of 120. Just rough it up a bit. Double check my fit. And yep, we're good to go at that. So, we need to take this off and reverse it. Cut the outside of our egg. Or we cut the inside of the other half. Even that way. Whichever you want to do first. Quick poll of everybody in my workshop says I want to do the bottom first. Okay, so I've now got my jam chuck on. I've taped my piece on, partly for security, but also I want to keep this bit away from any paints, because it's going to be my glue shoulder. So first box up. Jam chuck isn't that great because I polished the inside, if you remember. So now we shape the outside. Start fairly roughly, sort of backing my corners off. It's good to remember what tape we did the inside. I can overload my template. Turn it off before I do that. Overlay my template, that's the inside. So I'm good there. I want to keep my tailstock up right until the very last minute. I'll cut it down nice and thin there. With a small spindle gouge and just try to fit myself. Yeah, cut it off. Something looks like an egg. Go overhead. But I'm keeping this bit for now. I'm going to sand it, I'm going to paint it, and then I'll take this off and I'll just touch the end in after I've finished. Because, as I said, it's waxed inside. My jam chuck ain't great. That's all that's you. It's conventional sanding, so I'm the right way around here now. I haven't got my fingers inside anything. Spindle sanding, so I'm not going to use a device, I'm just going to do it by hand. And I'm not going to make you watch either. Well, we're all sanded and I'm going to start some colouring. I'm going to go with the intrinsic colour Ruby. The Easter eggs are often red. I don't know why. But who am I to argue? I don't want to lose the grain, I want this to stay wood. So whilst you were paused, I'll give it a coat of black, let it dry, and then you knock it back so that the grain markings hold a bit of black. You can't see it on that camera. Can't really see it on that camera either. There you go. So I get that punch through of the grain. I'm going to let that dry and I'm going to give it another coat of the same colour just to punch out the colour a bit more. And then we'll seal it and go from there. I'll just cut into that a little bit with the intrinsic honey. Which I think I quite like the look of. As I said, I don't want to disguise the fact it's wood. Okay, I'm not going to be doing a great deal with this. I'm going to use some Hampshire Sheen Gold embellishing wax. I don't know how well it's going to work, but normally I wouldn't sand it quite as far as this before I use this, but I'll give it a go. There's a shop in the UK aimed at mostly teenage girls really, called Claire's Accessories. In that shop they sell the temporary tattoos, the transfers that you stick on your skin, and I have in the past used them. They've got dragons, they've got symbols, they've got all sorts. Use that, stick it on here, lacquer over the top, and you've got some delicate artwork, which I'm not capable of doing myself. I'm rubbish at art. But obviously it's locked down, they're closed, so I can't do that on this one. So the gold embellishing wax is on. Let that dry off a little bit and then we'll polish that off pretty much completely. I only want it staying in the lighter bits of the softer bits of grain. You know what I mean? In amongst the black bits. I'm going to pause you because I'm going to give that a minute and drink some coffee. Oh, that's nowhere near. There we go. And I'm going to finish off with some Hampshire Sheen high gloss paste wax. I have put some sanding sealer on there where you were paused. That's too much. I only need a very small amount. on high gloss, multiple coats of thin coats is much better than a single thick coat. I'm a bit undecided what to do now, because effectively that's the process I'm going to repeat exactly on the other side. Will I film it or just leave you on pause until it's complete? The buffing doesn't require a lot of pressure. It just requires gentle pressure, enough to get a little bit of heat, and gently press it in there and buff it a little bit. If you go too hard, all you do is take the wax back off again, which is pointless. Anyway, I think what I'm going to do is finish this one, then I'll cut the other one. I'll film it, but I'll run it at high speed when I edit it together. That's probably the best bet. As I said, it's exactly the same. As I'm only here for entertainment, it's kind of pointless making you sit through too much of the same. Okay, we've reached assembly point. There's a couple of tricks I use to assemble. First of all, I'm going to be using 2-part epoxy glue. Nothing special, just an cheapo 2-part epoxy glue. This is the 5-minute set one, so it's quite quick to use. About 5 minutes is a long time to be holding something still. On camera. Right, so I'm just putting a bead of this glue all the way around the rim. Don't really want to squeeze out, so I'm not going too much on it.